Toyota's 2.5-liter hybrid system has long been considered one of the most dependable powertrains available. It serves as the core of many of Toyota's major successes, such as the Camry Hybrid, RAV4 Hybrid, Highlander Hybrid, Venza, Crown, and, numerous Lexus models. For years, owners have placed their confidence in it because Toyota hybrids established a reputation for durability that, honestly, few other manufacturers could match. However, underneath that sterling reputation, Toyota has quietly acknowledged an issue that numerous drivers and technicians have observed for a while. The 2.5-liter hybrid system possesses a real-world weakness that manifests under specific driving conditions. It's not a catastrophic flaw, and it doesn't instantly render Toyota hybrids unreliable. Nevertheless, it demonstrates that the system is not as impervious as its public image might imply. The positive development is that Toyota already possesses a remedy, and if you own or are considering purchasing a vehicle equipped with this hybrid system, that update holds far greater significance than most people understand. This is not about sensationalism or alarm. It's about comprehending what Toyota identified, why it is important, and how updated hardware and software can redefine long-term ownership. To grasp the issue, you must first understand why this hybrid system became the cornerstone of Toyota's vehicle range. The 2.5-liter hybrid combines a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with an electric motor and an electronic continuously variable transmission known as the ECVT. On the surface, it appears simple. In reality, it's actually remarkably efficient. It provides immediate low-speed torque, exceptional fuel economy, smooth urban performance, and long-term reliability that turbocharged alternatives frequently find difficult to equal. Toyota deliberately avoided needless complexity. There are no turbochargers, no extreme tuning, no pushing of components to their thermal limits. That cautious philosophy is precisely why taxi fleets, commercial operators, and high-mileage drivers adopted it so enthusiastically. It was engineered to endure. But as Toyota started installing the system into larger, heavier vehicles and pairing it with all-wheel drive configurations, the operational demands shifted. New loads were introduced, and with them emerged new challenges. Toyota never publicly announced a problem. They seldom do, but service bulletins, updated components, revised software calibrations, and discrete engineering modifications all indicate the same finding. The weakness focuses on thermal control and how the system manages sustained electrical load, particularly in models equipped with electric all-wheel drive or AWDI. Based on industry technicians and Toyota-certified hybrid specialists, the concern boils down to three closely connected areas. First, excessive heat accumulation in the rear motor cable and its connector. Second, increased strain on the inverter during prolonged high-load operation. Third, control software that did not respond swiftly or assertively enough to rising temperatures and electrical demand. Under normal daily driving, most owners would never detect any of this. That is why the system preserved its reputation for so long. The problems typically emerge only in demanding situations. Extended highway journeys, mountain driving, hot climates, light towing, or aggressive acceleration while AWDI is active. During those instances, the hybrid system is pushed harder than it was originally intended to be. AWDI is also one of the most misinterpreted aspects of Toyota's hybrid lineup. Unlike conventional all-wheel drive systems, it does not employ a drive shaft. Instead, a completely independent electric motor powers the rear axle. It is an elegant and lightweight solution that enhances efficiency and traction, but it also introduces a new electrical circuit that must manage high current under real-world stress. Hybrid engineers note that the rear motor itself is rarely the issue. The actual vulnerability lies in how power reaches it. The high-voltage cable and connector assembly are subjected to moisture, road salt, temperature fluctuations, and continuous electrical load. Over time, electrical resistance naturally increases. Greater resistance generates more heat. More heat leads to accelerated wear. Eventually, Toyota collected sufficient field data to conclude that this part of the system required reinforcement. Before Toyota ever implemented changes, owners and technicians were already identifying patterns. Reports started to show similar trends. Sudden hybrid system warnings, all-wheel drive temporarily deactivating itself, noticeable power reduction during highway driving, check engine lights linked to inverter codes, and loss of rear motor engagement without any clear mechanical failure. What made it even more worrying was how inconsistent the symptoms were. Many vehicles continued to operate perfectly most of the time. The faults appeared and disappeared, and honestly, in engineering terms, intermittent problems are often the most serious, because they usually indicate a system is functioning right at the edge of its capabilities. What made this aggravating is that many vehicles still drove fine the majority of the time. The issues were sporadic, making them difficult to diagnose and easy to disregard. From an engineering perspective, intermittent faults are frequently the most concerning because they point to systems operating near their limits. Toyota's response was not a press conference. It was more understated, and honestly, more revealing. They released updated rear motor cables and connectors, revised inverter control software, improved sealing and insulation, and adjusted thermal load management strategies. In some markets, Toyota initiated service campaigns. In others, the upgrades appeared as revised part numbers or ongoing production modifications. This is Toyota's standard procedure. When they alter hardware and software across production without publicity, it's typically because they've identified a genuine long-term concern. Long-term hybrid specialists concur on one point. Heat is the adversary of electrical systems. A senior hybrid technician with over 15 years of Toyota experience explained it simply. The original system was not defective. It was merely operating too close to its comfort zone. The update provides it with breathing room, and that breathing room is the crucial element. The original configuration could endure typical use. The updated configuration is engineered to survive worst-case use year after year. Some owners presume this is merely a software issue. It is not. Software can limit power, alter engagement timing, and reduce stress, but it cannot alter physics. The upgraded components utilize improved insulation materials, superior connector geometry, enhanced corrosion resistance, and lower electrical resistance under load. When combined with updated software logic, the system now detects heat buildup earlier, distributes load more intelligently, and reduces thermal spikes during sustained driving. This is a comprehensive fix, not a temporary solution. While Toyota has not publicly ranked affected models, real-world data suggests the issue is more prevalent in RAV4 hybrid all-wheel drive, Highlander hybrid all-wheel drive, Venza, Crown, Lexus NX, and RX hybrids using similar architecture. Front-wheel drive hybrids experience fewer issues simply because they lack the rear motor and associated cabling. This is not a recall-level catastrophe. Most 2.5-liter hybrids will never encounter a failure. Toyota's reputation for reliability remains intact. Even critics acknowledge the failure rate is low compared to competitors, but a low failure rate does not mean an absence of problems. Toyota's own actions confirm that the original design was not optimal for long-term durability under all conditions. Toyota rarely employs dramatic language, especially concerning hybrids. Publicly admitting a problem risks damaging one of their strongest brand pillars. Instead, Toyota depends on continuous improvement, silent updates, dealer-level fixes, and production changes without announcements. From an engineering culture standpoint, this is not deception. It is how Toyota functions. This quiet evolution of the 2.5-liter system represents a pivotal, yet unheralded chapter in Toyota's hybrid story. The core philosophy remains unchanged. Prioritize longevity and real-world efficiency over peak performance. However, the engineering reality is that even the most robust designs must adapt when faced with the cumulative stress of modern driving expectations. The vehicles themselves have evolved, becoming more substantial and tasked with more demanding roles, and the powertrain has had to follow suit. This is not a story of failure, but one of foresight and iterative improvement, a hallmark of Toyota's approach. The significance of these updates extends beyond merely preventing a specific fault. They represent a systemic enhancement to the hybrid system's resilience. By addressing the thermal management of the high-voltage electrical pathway, Toyota is effectively future-proofing these vehicles against the gradual degradation that heat and electrical resistance inevitably cause. For an owner, this translates to sustained performance and efficiency over a longer vehicle lifespan, with a reduced likelihood of expensive component failure. The inverter, the rear motor, and the battery pack all benefit from an operating environment that is kept cooler and more stable. Hybrids are becoming heavier and more powerful. This issue is not exclusive to Toyota. As hybrids gain power, incorporate all-wheel drive, move into larger vehicles, and manage towing and highway loads, electrical systems face stresses they were not originally designed for decades ago. Toyota is ahead of many rivals because they noticed the issue early and addressed it before failure rates surged. Absolutely. But with one condition: hybrid engineers and long-time technicians agree the updated system is substantially more robust. Newer production vehicles benefit the most. Updated older models are safer long-term bets. In other words, this is not a reason to avoid Toyota hybrids. It is a reason to ensure you have the correct version. Toyota acknowledging the 2.5-liter hybrid issue does not mean the system is inferior. It means Toyota recognized a real-world limitation and corrected it. That is actually positive news. The upgrade enhances durability, reduces long-term risk, protects expensive hybrid components, and makes all-wheel drive hybrids more reliable in demanding conditions. If you own one, verify the update. If you are buying one, ensure it includes the revised hardware and software. Because in the hybrid world, minor changes can have a major impact. And this particular change matters more than most owners realize.